Hey there YouTube, this is SJM4306 again, and I'm back home for winter break. Happy, excited, and I got another teardown for you guys. This time, it is a 2.5 inch laptop Sata hard drive. I actually pulled this from a broken PS3. This guy is a 60 gigabyte momentous 5400 RPMs, revolutions per minute, made by Seagate. And the specs on this, 5 volts at about half of an amp. And I've already removed the label here because that was actually a pain to get off. But yeah, you would just use, a little pocket knife or something to get under one corner of the label, and then you just peel up. Carefully, of course, not putting pressure on the top. And it comes off just like that. Now, if you've ever messed around with computers, more modern computers, old computers use the parallel ATA PATA connector. These guys are SATA, so you have data and then your power connector right in here. And just like any other hard drive, circuit board on the bottom, you can see the hub motor there, and there's a little screw in there to hold the armature in. So next what you got to do is, you also notice there's like a little pressure vent there, so that because it has to equalize the pressure because the disk is spinning so fast, it creates a small pressure in there. You'll notice a little sticker over here that you will actually need to remove, once again with your help of your trusty pocket knife. Now, this guy, you're going to need to use a T6 Torx screwdriver to open up all the screws. There are 6 on the outside here, and then 1 right for the armature there. So let's get started on that. Well, you know what? There's actually something more interesting. Let's pull out the circuit board first. Hopefully I can get a screwdriver, a screw bit that fits. This is going to be a Phillips. There are 2 screws here, 2 more here, and 1 here, as well as 1 near the hub motor, which is a brushless. Okay. Yeah, the most interesting bits are inside, so I'll save that till last. And this drive's old and not all that useful at only 60 gigs, and I have plenty of others, so I'll be doing this completely tearing it down. It's not going to work after I'm done with it. So here you have your driver board, which is the there's a Samsung K4S641632K, which is going to be your 8 megabyte buffer. Your ST, there's an ST driver chip, which is most likely than not going to be controlling the read-write heads, as well as a let's see, it's also another ST chip. It's interestingly enough branded as Smooth, which is probably your brushless hub driving chip there. You'll notice quite a few of these little inductors in here for power supply. And let's see what else. A resonator for this chip right here. You have your spring contacts which mate with the these little on the printed pads on the flexible circuit board for the hub motor, as well as these right up top here, which mate with this receptacle for the read-write heads. Other than that, pretty small. I mean, it's neat that they fit everything on the inside of the drive to protect it. And I'm surprised by how small these have gotten. I've taken apart even smaller hard drives. This is a 2.5 inch. I've taken apart 1.8 inch and the compact flash type 2 mini drives, which I think they're like 0.4 inches or something. Those are absolutely tiny. I'll have one of those in one of the upcoming videos. I have a few spare ones. So let's pull this sucker apart now. As promised, gonna have to swap your bit for the Torx T6, and let's get this off as quickly as we can. I know you guys are excited. Yeah, if you're ever gonna do this, make sure the drive is you're not going to ever use it again. Because even if you do get it back together without a scratch, it's likely going to fail very soon. I've operated drives while they were open, and they work for about a few minutes, and then eventually a speck of dust gets in there and fouls up the heads in the platter. So, just a friendly warning. And whenever you're taking something apart and there's like a big label on it, and you take all the visible screws out and it still doesn't come apart, usually suspect a hidden screw like this one here. That was keeping me from getting into it when I first tried to pry this open. In addition, there was a little bit resistance because there's a gasket, an airtight gasket, so it helps just to get in with your pocket knife and give it a little bit of leverage, and it'll lift right off. And here you'll notice the other side of the vent, which is just a little cloth for keeping dust out and whatnot, but letting the air through. And other than that, not too interesting. Let's see now. This is the most interesting part. You'll notice the central disc hub and the platter mounted on it. This is actually a single platter. You'll notice that there's another spot for a few heads because there's only 2 heads in this one. There's a spot enough for 4, so you could actually double the platter. You can have 2 platters and have double the data, which would be 120 gigabyte. But this is the lower model. It's less capacity. And you'll notice here is just a little, I don't even know, desiccant or something like that. Put that aside. And lots of little Torx screws. Pull out the 2 for the little flex PCB for the armature. There's a single one right on top of the disc. Okay, this isn't going to happen. It's going to get dirty anyway. There. I ruined the disc. Are you happy? Basically, you just got some retaining clips, and the disc should... Nope. I guess I'm going to have to pull out this armature first. Shucks. I was trying to avoid that, but that'll be a pain in the butt. You gotta be careful with these magnets. They're strong enough easily to crush your finger. To use neodymium magnets. Let me use the not sharp side of my pocket knife. And there. You'll notice this little arm here, which actually locks the armature in place when it's non-operational, so that it doesn't accidentally, crash into the disc. Oh, that's why. Okay. While pulling the heads slightly towards you, you're gonna have to remove the this little platter, which helps align the heads with the platter there. Just a little piece of plastic. Now we can pull out. There you go. And very, very, very shiny. Yeah, you can see me. Hi. Not so shiny anymore with my fingerprints all over it. Still very cool. You can use it as a frisbee, but yeah, just set that aside. I've seen people make little POV devices where they'll take a circuit board the exact same size as this, etch like letters or symbols or whatnot into it, like clock numerals, and then put a strip of LEDs that flashes rapidly so that, and blinking dividers so that they can control segments and whatnot. That's a really cool idea. I might try doing that with this little hub motor there. If I learn how to drive that with a microcontroller, I can actually utilize that. And your armature, let's see now. You got 3 Torx screws, not so Heidi in there, if that was English. Come on. This is actually a fairly quick teardown, and I could put it back together, but I mean, what's the point? It's not like it's gonna work. And you're gonna need a flathead. No? No. No. Of course not. Of course I'm going to have to get a separate bit. Okay, so hopefully this is enough. Yep. There's on the top of this mount, it's actually rather clever because a screw fits in it, but it also has these raised edges that a flathead bit would fit into, so that you can actually unscrew the armature from the base. And with that, you can more or less just lift it out. And the bottom magnet. These guys are neodymium, so they're really strong. Yeah, just don't crush your finger with them. You can definitely use them for a project needing very strong magnetics. And finally, they should lift right out. Should being the operative word. Oh, I see. Socket was stuck. And there might... Yep, no adhesive. Wow. Okay, just a little rubber gasket there. And you'll see the coil for the armature, so that moves it by pushing and pulling against the neodymium magnet, so it can swing left and right. Very thin. Sorry about that. I ran out of memory on my phone. Yes, I have a 16 gig card and I ran out of memory. Anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, so the head, very little tiny fingers in there, which, you know, are very fragile and whatnot. And you'll see there's like, well, you can't see because I don't have a good enough camera, but little tiny heads in there that, you know, they're little tiny wires that go down the armatures to this here. There's a little chip in here which decodes the differential signals and then sends it down this line into digital signal pins, which then can go directly into the processor, so I can, you know, read the data. But basically, the interesting thing is, while the disk is spinning at 5,400 revolutions per minute, it creates a cushion of air over it, so that these fingers are actually separate and they suspend about, I think, less than a human's hair width above the surface. They float there as they read the data, and then it retracts and then it stops the platter from spinning in that order. And so that's basically how most hard drives, well, every hard drive works. Every mechanical hard drive, that is. And so other than that, we just have an empty chassis here. And that's pretty much it. And I'm bored, so, and we're only at, I don't know, probably like 10 minutes or something. So I guess I'll just put it back together. Or at least attempt to. Hopefully I remember where all the screws go. Where's my bit? And sometimes when I'm bored, I'll just take random stuff apart. And the point is trying to take it apart non-destructively, but obviously a hard drive, good luck doing that. Womp. A little spacer ring there. And finally this little guy. I mean, when I get this together, it technically would work, but at the same time, it's not going to be able to like read data or anything like that. It's just me, or is that kind of... Is it fouling on something? Maybe it's just me. I'm going crazy. Well, whatever. Okay. No. Oh, fine. See how it is. Gotta put in this first, and then, you gotta do everything in the right order. There we go, that's a good boy. And sometimes it helps when you're just tinkering with stuff. You don't have to talk to it. Make it feel appreciated. Now this is gonna be fun. How the heck did I get this in? Or how did I get it out? Or how did I don't know, I'm so confused. Actually, no, that's right. Okay. Now keep in mind, these are not instructions how to, fix your hard drive, should anything happen or anything like that. Just purely for fun. And there we go. It's nice and in there now. Okay, and I believe this just sat on top. Sort of. Maybe. There we go. Yeah, and there's actually a little stopper. I believe most hard drives have like a little magnet or a little stopper there to hold the heads in place, but this one actually just has a little armature. It's called a parking magnet because it parks the head in its correct parking position. Yep, you'll see that because it actually, yeah, it does have the magnet. It has this little lock thing. You'll notice that there's like a magnetic little spring to that. Well, that's why. You'll notice that the head can go back and forth and whatnot. Perfectly fine. Everything is looking good. And let's see. Now we've got this little guy in the corner, and the cover, and lots of Torx screws. I actually prefer Torx over Phillips, just simply because, well, Torx seems to me to be more reliable. I very rarely strip a Torx screw, but all the time I'll end up stripping. Oh wait, nope, I'm good. Thought I was being stupid again and screwing it in backwards, which would not be the first time that I've done something like that. But never mind. I'm just getting hungry and tired. And wait a minute. Oh, okay, good. I'm seeing one screw hole and I have 2 screws left, and I'm like, wait a minute. Okay. And here. Done that. Get these guys back on. And we'll be all back together. Just keep in mind on these drives that are smaller, 2.5 inch, especially the 1.8 inch and the, the compact flash size micro drive. The drives are so minuscule that these screws are tiny and they're so easy to strip, so just keep that in mind. I have a few of those compact flash hard drives I'll take apart at another date. Unfortunately, I only had one 1.8 inch one. That was from my old iPod that I took apart. So unless if I get another one sometime soon, which is a possibility, I probably won't be doing a teardown of that anytime soon. Unless if I randomly buy a broken iPod or get a broken iPod that has one. Then I can do a teardown for you guys, and that's oodles of fun because my screws are way too large for that and it's always a pain. But anyway, and now we are back together. Let me just get my screws all in a line. And just randomly, just stick it And it's like it was never opened, sort of. Not really at all, actually. And there we go. It's all back together in one piece, sort of. And I'm pretty damn sure that if you plug this into a computer, your computer would just say, what the hell? But that's it. A teardown of a Seagate 60 gigabyte 2.5 inch hard drive. And I'll be back whenever I find something else to take apart, which should probably be within a week or so. I hope you all are enjoying your holiday breaks and your Christmas and whatnot, holiday season. I definitely am enjoying mine, and I'll catch you guys later.